The Indiana Fever ain't rebuilding, they're reloading. After years of rebuilding, the franchise has pulled off a masterstroke this offseason, assembling a roster that blends raw talent, seasoned leadership, and championship DNA. With Caitlin Clark, Kelsey Mitchell, DeWanna Bonner, and Natasha Howard set to take the court together, the Fever ain't just aiming for the playoffs, they're eyeing a title. So let's break down why this quartet could turn Indiana into the most exciting team in the WNBA. Let's start with a new face who feels like she's been here forever. DeWanna Bonner isn't just a free agent signing, she's a walking WNBA encyclopedia. At 36, she's got 2 championships, 6 All-Star nods, and 87 playoff games under her belt, the most in league history. She's 4th in all-time in scoring and just 6 points shy of passing Tina Thompson for 3rd, and she's likely going to climb the rebounding charts too, setting 3 boards away from 8th place. But here's the kicker, Bonner isn't here to ride the bench. She's still dropping 15-point games, earning MVP votes last season, and using her wingspan to terrorize defenses. Bonner's game is a beautiful mix of old-school grit and modern versatility. She can drain threes, which she's already done 600 times in her career, slash to the rim, or just post up smaller defenders. Defensively, she's a nightmare, poking passes, swatting shots, and locking down opponents with a kind of intensity that rubs off on younger players. And she's no stranger to the Fever's coaching staff, having played under head coach Stephanie White in Connecticut. Yeah, Bonner's presence ain't just about stats, it's about stability. When the game slows down in the 4th quarter or the playoffs get tense, she's the one who's gonna steady the ship. If Bonner is the calm, then Kelsey Mitchell is the storm. The Fever's homegrown superstar has been the face of this franchise through thick and thin, and now finally she's got the supporting cast to match her fire. Mitchell isn't just a scorer, she's a walking explosion. 5 straight seasons in the league's top 10 in scoring, the top 3 single-game scoring performances in Fever history, 2nd in franchise points, trailing only the legendary Tamika Catchings. And she's done it all before turning 30. But what makes Mitchell special isn't just her ability to light up the scoreboard, it's her loyalty. She stayed with Indiana through rebuilding years, injuries, and even roster shakeups. And now with Caitlin Clark drawing defenders and Bonner setting screens, Mitchell's game could reach new heights. Just imagine her sprinting off a Bonner pick for a pull-up 3, or slicing through a defense that's too busy worrying about Clark's passing. And defensively, she's grown into a pesky on-ball defender, using her quick hands to disrupt plays. She ain't just playing for stats anymore, she's playing for legacy. And with this roster, that legacy might include a ring. Natasha Howard's return to Indiana ain't just a reunion, it's a full-circle moment. Drafted by the Fever in 2014, she's back as a 3-time champion, a Defensive Player of the Year, and one of the most versatile bigs in the game. Howard is the missing piece the Fever have craved, a defender who can guard all 5 positions, a rebounder who crashes the glass like a hurricane, and a scorer who dropped 18 points and 7 rebounds a game last season. Now let's talk about defense first. Howard has averaged at least 1 block and 1 steal per game for 7 straight seasons. Her near 7-foot wingspan lets her switch on the guards, stonewall centers, and turn fast breaks into nightmares. She's 25th in all-time blocks, and her mere presence in the paint forces opponents to second-guess every drive. But she ain't just a defensive specialist. She can step out and hit threes, which she's done 153 times in her career. She can run the floor like a guard and finish with authority around the rim. Y'all pair that up with Caitlin Clark's quarterback-level passing and you got a highlight factory. Howard's also a proven playoff performer. Remember her 29-point, 14-rebound masterpiece back in 2018 finals? Now that's the kind of clutch DNA the Fever need to close out games. Alright, yeah, she's a rookie. No, that ain't gonna slow her down. Caitlin Clark isn't just a future of the Fever, she's a spark that could ignite this team's present. Fresh off rewriting college basketball record books, Clark brings her signature deep threes, no-look passes, and unshakable swagger to the pros. Now her game is tailor-made for the WNBA. Fearless, flashy, and impossible to ignore. Clark's fit with his roster is almost too perfect. With Mitchell drawing double teams, Bonner spacing the floor, and Howard sprinting ahead in transition, Clark's vision is gonna shine. Picture her launching a half-court outlet pass to Howard for an easy layup, or a thread to bounce pass through traffic to a cutting Mitchell. Defensively, she'll need to adjust to the league's physicality, but her hustle, like 1.5 steals per game in college, is going to make her a pest on the perimeter. And the best part, Clark doesn't need to carry the load. With veterans like Bonner and Howard leading, she can play freely, learning, growing, and occasionally breaking the internet with a 30-foot dagger. Now, if y'all liking the video so far, make sure to subscribe to the channel. On paper, the team looks unstoppable, but basketball ain't played on paper, it's played with heart, chemistry, and grit. So here's how all the pieces fit. The offense is going to run through Clark's creativity and Mitchell scoring, with Bonner and Howard providing spacing, screens, and secondary scoring. Defenses won't know who to guard. Double Clark and Mitchell burns you. Collapse on Howard and Bonner drills a three. Leave Clark open? You know what happens with that. Defensively, Howard and Bonner form a switch-everything front court, while Mitchell and Clark hound ball handlers on the perimeters. But the secret sauce isn't the X's and O's, it's the culture. Bonner and Howard have won titles, Mitchell has weathered storms, Clark brings rookie hunger, and together they're a blend of patience and urgency, youth and wisdom. Coach Stephanie White, who's worked with Bonner before, will have the luxury of staggering minutes to keep her veterans fresh for a playoff push. So expectations here are sky high. The Fever haven't made the playoffs since 2016, but with this core, anything less than a deep run would feel like a letdown. The East is stacked with teams like New York and Connecticut, but Indiana's now got the firepower to go toe-to-toe with anybody. Health will be crucial. Bonner and Howard are in their 30s, and Clark's going to face rookie growing pains. But if they stay healthy and get quick, this team could be special. Imagine a playoff series where Bonner's calm and presence settles nerves. Howard locks down a superstar. Mitchell drops 30, and Clark hits a logo 3 to seal the game. Now that's the dream the Fever fans are clinging to, and it's not far-fetched. The Indiana Fever haven't been this exciting since Tamika Catchings was dominating the floor. And with Clark's flair, Mitchell's loyalty, Howard's defense, and Bonner's wisdom, this ain't just a team, this is a straight-up movement. The playoffs is the goal, but the ceiling, a championship. Opponents ought to be nervous. Fever fans ought to be ecstatic, and the rest of the league, man, they're going to be watching closely. Because here's the deal, you got a lot of scoring potential, you got a lot of driving potential, and you got a lot of synergy potential. Now, I'm pretty sure that we're going to get a really solid run up to the championship this year. Don't get me wrong, last season wasn't too bad, but there was a little bit of rocky shakeups at the start. Now, for this season, walking in with the 4-pack this tight-knit and powerful, I don't think we're going to have that same issue. If anything, I think this is going to be a straight-up highlight year for all of these players, where they're going to start pushing numbers that nobody has seen before. And honestly, I'm here for it. But what y'all think about all this? Let us know in the comments section down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you next time.